afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4.
It's Friday! There's Michael and Jim. Staying dry inside.
Yeah, it's tough today. Boy, I'll tell you, the April showers.
Yeah, it's been raining all day today.
Yeah, we'll get to the weather in just a minute. But first, topping our news today, it is Earth Day. We'll show you how it was celebrated both locally and nationally.
A trailblazing woman from the Wisconsin National Guard is retiring. Our Naomi Coles will tell us more.
And Western leaders continue to call for peace as officials say thousands of civilians have been killed as Ukrainian troops continue to fight for the port city of Mariupol. Let's take a look outside on this Earth Day. Rain. Very damp.
Hopefully it'll green everything up soon.
Another day, another warm-up. Julian's outside. I can hear it raining.
Well, actually, we are looking at just some pretty dry conditions here. Yeah, we're instead, that is actually our little pond is bringing in some of that watery sound for us. But aside of that, some of us are still dealing with some strains of little bit of rain, and that's mainly over towards Janesville and a bit more east. But we're looking to be drying out as we head into the rest of this evening for us. One thing we are going to keep an eye on, though, even though the severe weather risk is pretty much ended at this point, we still are in marginal risk of seeing some storms that could be strong or even severe, even though the confidence is low, is going to be for areas just west of Madison for today. And for tomorrow, it's going to be very west on the outskirts between Iowa and eastern Minnesota. However, there's a slight risk for those areas as we get into our Saturday. But we're going to be seeing a warm-up for tomorrow, which we'll get into later into the show, because right now we can see that overcast is really just blanketing our skies for us. And we're well below our average around this time of year. 49 degrees so far as we head into the rest of our evening, and we're going to be seeing temperatures around southern Wisconsin at 50 degrees here in Janesville and 53 over into Platteville. Wind speeds are still on the breezy side, so it's adding just a bit of that chill as we're getting into the rest of this evening. But we'll start to see just a tad bit more increase in temperatures as those 50s enter later on into today. But here's a look at our traffic. We can see, since it has been raining, expect some traffic delays, especially along the Beltline, where we're looking at some real slow spots heading into this evening. And then checking into the interstates, well, the interstate's a bit different. We're looking at a lot more green as we are starting off our evening commutes. We'll talk more about what else to expect as we head into the weekend in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
Julian, thank you. Earth Day is being celebrated across the nation on this April 22nd.
Since its inception in 1970, on average, more than 1 billion people across the globe mobilize for action on Earth Day. And did you know the first Earth Day got its start right here in Wisconsin? Senator Gaylord Nelson was concerned about the deteriorating environment and saw how energized college students were for the anti-war movement.
Nelson, a Democrat, got Republican Congressman Pete McCloskey to help organize a national day for campuses to teach regarding the environment.
They chose today, April 22nd, because it fell between spring break and final exams, and they hoped that would maximize participation.
In that first year, more than 20 million people took action for the already hurting environment. Governor Tony Evers today celebrated Earth Day at the Indian Community School in Franklin by signing an executive order creating the Office of Environmental Justice. Evers says the new office will work with the existing Office of Sustainability to promote environmentally just policies. Republicans last year removed the office from Evers' proposed budget, but Evers got around them by creating it through an executive order.
President Biden is spending this Earth Day in Seattle, with firefighters predicting a higher wildfire risk this spring and summer. President Biden is using Earth Day to unveil a new plan to make federal forests more resilient. Under the president's new executive order, federal agencies will conduct a first-ever inventory of old-growth forests. Older trees are key to fighting climate change because they can store more carbon.
Scientists estimate that the protection and restoration of our natural lands and waters can provide more than 1/3 of the solution to climate change.
The executive order announced today does not ban the logging of older trees. The president has been criticized by some environmental groups as many of his most ambitious climate proposals remain stalled in Congress.
In honor of Earth Day, Metcalf's Market in Hilldale in Madison debuted some chargers for folks with electric cars. Speakers gathered from the Dane County, Metcalf's, the City of Madison, and Entech Solutions, which showed the chargers off despite the inclement weather. This continues the trend of more EV chargers being installed across the country.
And our company is done more than 500 electric vehicle chargers over the last probably 8 years, and probably at about a little more than 100 locations. And it's definitely been accelerating.
Hilldale has more Earth Day events tomorrow. There's a free pop-up camp with Burn Boot Camp on the green from 9:15 to 10. And then the kids can meet and greet characters Mirabelle from Encanto and Ariel from The Little Mermaid on the green from 11 to 1.
A new sculpture series by 2 local Madison-based artists who are also UW alums was unveiled today at the UW Arboretum. Canopy Understories is a sculpture series featuring 2 installations. The 3 Samara flight sculptures are installed as a linear mobile, recreating the winged seed pods, or Samaras, of Wisconsin's state tree, the sugar maple. This trio of wind-activated kinetic sculptures mimics the natural dispersal mechanism that maple trees use.
They spin and they twirl in the wind, and they're painted to represent all of the different colors as the seed pod goes through its own life cycle.
The Canopy Understory sculptures will be on view through April 2023 and can be enjoyed in all seasons for the upcoming year. Visitors can scan the QR codes at the site for more educational learning materials.
We called them helicopters when we were growing up.
Yes, exactly.
And the Native Americans made a decades-long career out of shattering glass ceilings in the Army National Guard.
She's a Wisconsin native as well, and now she's retiring and going into the private sphere. Naomi Coles talked to her about what that is going to look like. Naomi?
Looking back at Brigadier General Joni Matthews' resume is a bit like looking at one new record after another. She's from the Lac du Flambeau Reservation in northern Wisconsin and says her culture played a big part into her love of service. While she finished her career as the first female and Native American to serve as Deputy Adjutant General for the Army, she was also the first in a slew of other roles.
Well, when I first joined the Army years ago, I sat down with my 2 sisters and we talked about our goals and what was our goal at the time, and we each had our own career goals and aspirations. And I said, if I make Lieutenant Colonel, I'll be so happy. And I made Lieutenant Colonel, and then I made Colonel, and I made General Officer. And I never in my wildest dreams, number 1, thought I would be serving beyond my 6-year obligation. And number 2, I never thought I would make General Officer.
She shared a number of stories from her career with me, and you can join me on Sunday. That's on For the Record at 10:30 after Face the Nation for our full interview. She's now off to lead Challenge Academy at Fort McCoy, an alternative education program for at-risk youth.
Naomi, thank you. We'll see you Sunday morning. Today, Dane County broke into the medium threshold for COVID infections set by the CDC. Dane County Public Health believes that the increase in cases could be a little bit due to waning immunity. Despite cases going up in the county, hospitalizations are still low. So what about the potential of going back to a mask mandate?
We are not in a place where that's on the table right now. And let's hope that we won't get there. But I think we're pretty far from having to make those decisions.
Dane County Public Health emphasized the importance of boosters and second boosters for those who are eligible.
U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy says healthcare worker burnout following the pandemic is a national problem. Dr. Murthy discussed healthcare worker burnout at a roundtable discussion at a Miami hospital. He described the issue as a national healthcare crisis. Some of the words that healthcare workers use to describe how they're feeling when speaking to Dr. Murthy earlier today were traumatic, exhausting, heartbreaking, desperation, and emotional, which Murthy says speaks to the depth of this crisis.
Because when healthcare workers burn out and drop out of the profession, as is happening right now, that affects all of us. It makes it harder for us to get care when we come to the hospital. It makes it harder for us to get our routine care as an outpatient. That is a crisis that we are dealing with today. And it's why we've got to tackle this problem with the urgency that it deserves.
Dr. Murthy shared that his office will move forward with a larger initiative around health worker well-being to continue the progress the Biden administration has already begun.
The UN's Secretary General plans to meet with Russian presidents next week to make an urgent plea for peace.
8 weeks into the conflict, Ukrainian authorities say more than 20,000 civilians have been killed in the siege for Mariupol.
Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Crews removed bodies from the bombed wreckage of Mariupol. Russian President Vladimir Putin has claimed victory there. But the local steel mill remains a holdout. Russian forces say they've blockaded the plant where thousands of Ukrainian fighters are holed up against attacks and civilians are taking shelter. These satellite images are believed to show rows of mass graves outside Mariupol. City officials say the area could hold more than 9,000 bodies. Britain's prime minister says it's a realistic possibility that Putin's war in Ukraine could continue through the end of next year.
The only option he now has really is to continue to try to use his appalling grinding approach, led by artillery, trying to grind the Ukrainians down.
The Biden administration has committed billions of dollars in funding and weapons to Ukraine since the invasion began, but the Ukrainian government is asking for more. In a blistering op-ed, Ukraine's defense minister called for air and missile defense systems, saying the Western response has been too slow.
We, in keeping and with another 30-plus nations, are doing everything we can to give them the tools that they need to defend themselves and to push the Russians out.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a video message that Russia rejected a truce proposal for this weekend's Orthodox Christian Easter, but that he still hopes for peace. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Well, today marks the first day of the return of the Midwest Horse Fair since the pandemic. And as anybody trying to drive through traffic near the Alliant Energy Center can attest, it's returned to near normal operations. The Horse Fair returned today for the first time since 2019, and it's the largest three-day horse fair in America. It includes 300 clinics, seminars, and educational events presented by some of the top horse professionals from around the country.
When we started, we were just 2 or 3 clinicians, I believe, and about 30 vendors, and so we've grown to over 500 and well over 40 presenters, clinicians, entertainers, and we bring in about 60,000 people and do $11 million in economic impact for the Madison area.
And drivers are asked to avoid the Beltline near the Park Street, Rimrock Road, and John Nolan Drive exits if at all possible. All this rain and warmer weather on the way is going to start greening up our lawns.
That's for sure. We'll get some tips on how to care for your grass when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
What can I do with less asthma? With Dupixent, I can do more. Catching my train. Making moves. Making a connection. Oh, a train connection. That's how you do more with Dupixent, which helps prevent asthma attacks. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks, and can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And here's something important. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Just ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
No, I insist.
It's your turn.
Nope, I think it's your turn.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go.
I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you.
After you. Safety first.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Some numbers are thrilling, some impressive, some just right. After an accident, there's one critical number. The number that helps you get your life back by factoring in your needs for today and tomorrow. That's where Havish and Rotier's numbers really add up. With over 90 years of client successes and 13 offices to help you wherever you are. No other personal injury law firm is better suited to get the amount that's right for you.
It started somewhere between a cuddle and a struggle. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life. Welcome! Hi. Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
When you drive a Honda, the adventures go on and on. Follow your adventures with the rugged power of Honda. The brand owners are calling the most fun to drive. Hurry into a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
Well, some children in Minnesota are celebrating Earth Day today by releasing more than 100,000 ladybugs inside the Mall of America.
There are over 30,000 live plants on the property, including 400 live trees. So the mall has found the most effective way to deal with bugs are bugs. The center has been using ladybugs as a pesticide for almost 30 years. It's also been environmentally friendly since it opened in 1992. The mall recycles more than 60% of its waste. They use passive solar energy from skylights. They rely on LED bulbs, and they send food waste to a local hog farm.
Well, good for them. That's great to hear. Not so good news. Stocks plunge as investors prepare for faster interest rate hikes. The Dow Industrials fell 981 points, or almost 3%, ending the week at 33,811. The NASDAQ dropped 335 points. The S&P 500 was off 121. Do not look at your 401k this weekend.
Yikes.
Well, today is Earth Day, and even though it doesn't feel like it outside, it is springtime in Wisconsin.
More Wisconsin communities are encouraging people to keep their lawnmowers in the garage next month to help boost the population of bees and other pollinators.
It's called No Mow May, and Doug Solet is a UW expert on lawns and urban soils. He joins us with some tips to keep our lawns healthy. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Doug. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Rain today's got to be good for the lawns.
Yeah,
Big soaking rain like this.
Right, absolutely.
So no mow May. Tell us what that's about.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping for no snow May.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's start there.
But yeah, No Mow May is it's a movement that is encouraging people to not mow, like you said, and that will allow the dandelions to bloom and then provide nectar for plants. So it's for bees. So we're kind of thinking about lawns as a part of the ecological landscape a little bit more.
Dandelions, though, are every person's nemesis on a beautiful lawn, right?
Yeah,
You're just saying, just let it go for the month.
Well, right. So, you know, everybody has a different idea of what they want their lawn to look like. And so, you know, weed is a plant whose virtues haven't been discovered yet. And so one of the virtues of dandelion is it blooms and provides nectar to bees early in the season when bees don't have a lot of other food sources.
So what happens on June 1st?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think maybe a better catchphrase would be like mow high, May, June, July. So I think if dandelions have evolved to flower low. That's why they survive on our lawns, because they can tolerate the mowing. So if you want to provide food for bees and other pollinators, but avoid having a disaster to deal with in June, I think if you set your mower as high as it can go and mow a couple times in May, you're gonna get the best of both worlds.
Oh, that's great. Can you help promote the pollinator population and still fertilize your lawn?
Yeah, absolutely. So fertilizer doesn't have detrimental effects on insects. So it keeps the lawn dense, helps the water soak into the ground, and so we talk about the holiday schedule. So Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day are good times to think about fertilizing your lawn.
Okay.
And what about killing weeds?
Yeah, weeds. So that's what this whole conversation is about, right? So you know, we talked about benefits of some weeds. Clover, we're at the O.J. North Center in Verona. We're studying how to encourage clover in your lawn because it provides nitrogen, which would minimize the amount of fertilizer that you might have to add. But one of the bad weeds is crabgrass. And because crabgrass dies in the winter and it leaves bare soil. And we have bare soil, it can run off, get into lakes, add phosphorus to the lakes. So right about now is when you should think about preventing your crabgrass.
Okay, how do you do that?
And so you can purchase a crabgrass preventer. And you apply it, it's a granular, you spread it, and it prevents the crabgrass seeds from germinating.
Okay.
What if you want to go all the way and not do anything? What's going to happen?
Yeah, lazy person lawn care. That's kind of like what I do.
I want it this way.
So the most important thing to do, if you don't want to do much or anything, is to mow properly. So mow high with a sharp mower blade. So I think about maybe sharpening your mower blades. And if you mow properly, you can have a pretty nice looking lawn.
And don't save the clippings. Let the clippings.
Return the clippings. That's free fertilizer.
Do you need to water your lawn, or just wait and let Mother Nature do it?
You don't need to. Yeah, so the grasses in Wisconsin can survive even the toughest conditions. You remember back to 2012, that terrible drought. Most lawns came out just fine. So they turn brown, but they end up surviving. So you don't need to irrigate if you don't want to.
So we've got a few weeks before we have to mow.
Yeah, when do you think will be the first?
Yeah, normally it's about now, but we're a
now?
couple weeks behind. So I would say probably at least another week or so before we even think about it.
Hopefully it won't snow. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having
information.
Yeah.
Still to come at 4, the CDC is sending out a warning to parents of young children.
Some children are coming down with an unexplained liver condition. We'll have more on that coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
Shop the Spring Savings Double Up Sale for double rebates on our most popular appliance and grill brands. Shop in-stock specials like this Amana top-load washer for just $5.48. This KitchenAid dishwasher for just $7.98. This GE convection range with air fry for just $8.98. Or this LG 25 cubic foot French door refrigerator for just $14.98. Shop GrandAppliance.com or a store near you. Grand Appliance, the appliance experts.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably serve and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
Hello, spring. Hello, savings. Now at the Century House. Save hundreds with a free leather upgrade. Or get $300 off stressless Mike and Max motorized recliners with a soft rocking motion that provides instant comfort. And $300 off the new 50th anniversary retro stressless Royal recliner, available with the iconic stressless original base. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
And I walked right into U.S. Cellular and I said I want to choose any phone in here for free. What'd he say? He said, sure. Really nice guy. I had my pick of any phone from any brand, free, even the newest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the big screen?
Yeah.
Big storage?
Yeah.
Fits in your pocket?
Fits in my pocket. Yeah, it's a big phone, and that's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
At U.S. Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra! No!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Be proactive about managing your symptoms by talking to your doctor about twice daily Xiidra like I did.
I prefer you did it.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
Well, take a look at this. Walter Orthman has just made it into the Guinness Book of World Records. The 100-year-old from southern Brazil set a record for working the longest time in the same company, 84 years. Orthman started on the factory floor of a company now known as Renovue, which produces fabric. Soon after, he moved into administration, eventually becoming a sales manager. To keep sharp, he stretches daily and watches his diet. Walter's advice for those looking for a long and fulfilling professional life are simple. Do what you love and stay away from junk food.
No, that's good advice.
He still drives himself to work.
That's incredible.
Wow. 84 years at one. I'm not going to make it.
I was just going to say, you're not even a quarter of the way there.
Not going to make it. And speaking of making it, happy birthday, Julian.
Oh, my gosh.
Julian's here.
Surprising me here.
We got a little some.
Ooh.
There you go.
Who is that shining so bright in the sun? Oh, my. He is
Happy
handsome.
birthday, young man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
And on Earth Day, a meteorologist to be on Earth Day, born on Earth Day. That's,
I know.
It's in the stars.
I know, right? I was just thinking about this. I was talking to Gary about it, actually. I was like, you know, it must have been destiny for me.
I think so.
Yeah, there you go.
I think so.
It was just foretold for me. There's nothing else for me to do.
But Mother Nature was not very kind to you today.
She typically isn't. You know, a fun fact. So I'm 26 today. So in the last 26 years of my life, I started recording this when I was about 8 years old. Almost 15 years out of 26 at least, it's rained or some form of precipitation.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know, it's really weird, but from Maryland, Pennsylvania, when I lived in Wyoming, and now here, it's always something.
It follows you around.
I know. So if you were hoping for some sunshine, it's hopefully not on my birthday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The day before and tomorrow.
Well, exactly.
There you
That's
go.
what we're going to talk about coming up. We are going to be looking at some warmth and some sunshine heading into the weekend. So stay tuned for the first warm forecast after the break.
A box can be essential, then recycled for a move, and then help brighten breakfast, or bring fresh scents in a tube. What starts as a box for detergent can become one with a helpful seam. All part of the circle of caring for our natural resources and trees. Recycling your boxes and paper products helps nature thrive. Be a force for nature and choose sustainable, recyclable paper and packaging.
Did your or your neighbor's roof take a beating this season?
I'll call Feldco.
Right now, get 30% off a new roof from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
30% off Feldco roofing ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need. At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
This is what people with eczema said about how their skin feels. When it comes to our skin, what if it could feel differently? Say hello to Opzelura for the treatment of mild to moderate eczema. Opzelura is a steroid-free cream, proven to help clear skin and significantly reduce itch. Do not start Opzelura if you have any infection, as it may lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you are being treated for an infection, have TB, or have been in close contact with someone with TB, have had hepatitis B or C. Serious lung infections, skin cancer, blood clots, and low blood cell counts have been reported with Opzelura. In patients taking JAK inhibitors, serious infections, increased risk of death, lymphoma, other cancers, immune system problems, and major cardiovascular events have occurred. The most common side effect is pain and swelling in the nose or throat. It's a one-of-a-kind cream. So what could that mean for your skin? Ask your dermatologist about Opzelura.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Now, as we're heading into the evening, well, just know that we are looking more on dry conditions, as we're not going to be looking at much in terms of rain throughout the rest of our evening hours. As we break it apart, heading in from 6 to 10 p.m., we're not looking for much in terms of showers. Still, the overcast will stick around until we get into the later part of tonight. Temperatures will increase about a degree or two by we get in around that time as well, but we can see still cool conditions here in southern Wisconsin, with 50 degrees in Janesville and 54 degrees over towards Platteville. Now, as we roll into checking out where the rain is, well, it's pretty much all the way out of southern Wisconsin as of right now. Still seeing some showers just outside of Milwaukee and Sheboygan, but for us here in Madison and Dane County, well, we're looking at some dry conditions as we kick off the next few hours. But aside from that, this is what we're going to be seeing as we head into the weekend, folks. It's going to feel pretty gorgeous, but just watch out for the wind, because as we get into Saturday, we're going to be looking at this warm front really sweep its way across the upper Midwest, but we are still going to see some real strong winds coming in from the south. Then as we go into Sunday, still going to be having some temperatures that are close to normal, but it's going to be cooler than it will be on Saturday. And on top of that, we are going to be looking at some rain to start to roll into our Sunday morning as well. In terms of any severe weather, well, we're pretty much past that point here on our Friday, but for Saturday, any threat is mainly going to be to the far west. For our friends over into Minnesota and for Iowa, they're into a slight risk for seeing severe weather. And if some of those storms may have a bit more energy, you might see a couple isolated storms that could be strong or severe just to the west near Crawford or Grant County, or even areas towards central Wisconsin. But for us, this is what we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of tonight. Again, cloud cover is going to continue to blanket us, but some showers might develop, but it'll be very isolated and not looking at scattered at all for tonight. So then as we transition into our Saturday morning, we're already into the 60s by 7 o'clock. These winds, though, are going to be breezy and gusty throughout the course of our Saturday. Getting into Saturday afternoon, that's right, you're seeing 70s on your screen for about the second time of this year. And as we go into our Saturday evening, still holding on to some warmth, but clouds will start to roll in, and we are going to be keeping an eye on starting to see some showers start to roll in over Saturday nights into our Sunday morning. But we're not looking at too much in terms of rain here in Dane County. The rain in itself is mainly going to be into the southwestern corridor between Grant and Crawford County and areas near the Dells as well, where you could see about 3/4 to maybe even an inch of some rainfall. But this is what it's looking like for our weekend. 78 degrees is looking to be our high, and 64 for Sunday. Again, we're going to be shaping up to be pretty nice for us. And there are 3 things we're going to need to know is that once these showers and storms are out the way, might see a couple of opportunities this weekend, but mild temperatures, and we're going to be heading into next week with some below average temperatures once again. The cool is returning as we get into our Monday, as we're going to start to see some 40s once again into our forecast, but at least we're going to be on the dry side. Then as we get into next weekend, we're looking at better opportunities for some more rain, potentially a thunderstorm heading into Saturday. But aside from that, we still are just not consistent when it comes to seeing 60s in our forecast just yet. So we might even open up into May looking at 50.
You just can't turn that corner.
A near 80 tomorrow.
What is wrong with Wisconsin?
Well, we don't have enough time for that.
Fair.
All right, Julian, thank you.
Thanks, Julian.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is issuing a health advisory about several cases of severe liver inflammation in children.
Bradley Blackburn has more.
The CDC is alerting doctors and public health authorities about a cluster of children identified with hepatitis or liver inflammation and infection with adenovirus. 9 children under 10 were diagnosed in Alabama from October to February, 2 in North Carolina. Doctors at UAB Children's Hospital treated the Alabama cases.
What was odd was just the frequency of how often these children were coming, and the fact that each one of them tested positive for adenovirus.
2 patients needed liver transplants. While the cause remains unclear, health officials are investigating the possible link to adenovirus, which typically causes mild to severe respiratory illness, fever, sore throat, and pink eye. Several of the Alabama cases were positive for a specific adenovirus.
It can also cause gastrointestinal distress, things like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Adenovirus type 41, as far as we can tell, has never been associated with significant liver injury. And all of these children did have, or most of them had, GI type symptoms and then developed, of course, the hepatitis on top of that.
Dr. Wes Stubblefield with the Alabama Department of Public Health says symptoms of liver inflammation can vary.
It might look like their belly was particularly big. You can also see yellowing of the eyes or skin, something we call jaundice, which is absolutely unusual, especially in an otherwise healthy person.
The hepatitis cases were first identified in Britain, 74 since January. Health officials expect more cases will be picked up with increased surveillance. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now, health officials in Alabama say none of the children had a history of recently being infected with COVID-19.
And none of them had been vaccinated against COVID. Well, coming up next on Live Before, Nicolas Cage stars as a stylized version of himself who's paid to meet a super fan. Hilarity ensues.
And then coming up next hour at 5, the Arrive Alive tour made a stop in Lake Mills today to make teenagers aware of the dangers of distracted driving. We'll have that story coming up at 5.
Look what $1 buys right now at Ashley. Entire room groups for as low as $1 a day. Discounts up to 65% off. 60-month special financing. A $1,000 purchase only costs $21 per month. Plus no money down on in-stock items. Only at Ashley.
Celebrate spring with 11% off everything at Menards. Bring your lawn back to life with nature's finest Midwest Master Premium Grass Seed. A 15-pound bag is $34.99 after 11% rebate. Attract birds to your yard with Enchanted Gardens Bird Food. Our high-quality blends include sunflowers, millets, and other grains to ensure only the best for your backyard friends. Get 11% off all Enchanted Garden Bird Food now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is the purpose-built Ford F-150. It's a beast with brains. It's got, you know what? Skip this video. Go see one at your local Ford dealer.
Get here to know F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for yourself. Then get one your way with a custom order that receives priority, plus an extra $1,000 bonus cash and incentive protection, guaranteeing you the best offer now or at delivery, all on a Ford, built for you, by you. Order your 2022 F-150 to lock in a great offer, plus get an extra $1,000 retail order bonus cash.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
Listen, I'm done settling because this is my secret. I put it on once, no more touch-up.
Secret has pH balancing minerals, and it helps eliminate odor instead of just masking it. So pull it in close. Secret works.
Up at 2 a.m. again. Tonight, try Pure Z's All Night. Unlike other sleep aids, our extended release melatonin helps you sleep longer and longer. ZzzQuil Pure Z's All Night. Fall asleep, stay asleep.
Wow, look what $1 buys right now at Ashley. Get a Tempur-Pedic or Purple mattress for $1 a day. Guaranteed delivery within 5 days on all in-stock mattresses. 60-month special financing, plus no money down. Only at Ashley.
Dane County raises its level of COVID infection spread to medium. Tonight at 5, we'll tell you what that change could mean and what health officials are urging the public to do about it.
As dreary as today was with wind, rain, and cool temperatures, that's how nice tomorrow will be with sunshine, southerly winds, and a big warm-up. Much colder weather returns again early next week. I'll let you know how cold it'll be at 5.
Then at 6, Governor Evers issues an executive order on Earth Day establishing a new Office of Environmental Justice. Find out how this office will work in tandem with his clean energy plan. That's on News 3 Now at 6. Well, we end up in St. Louis as we spin the weather satellite on this Friday.
It's a great shot.
It's 84 degrees there.
Yeah, it's always very
They're on the warmer side of this front.
Yes, they are.
We'll be there tomorrow. Nicolas Cage says portraying himself was one of the most challenging movie roles he's ever done.
Rick Damigella has a preview of the movie The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
What's the worry here, Nick? You've lost some of your talent as an actor?
No.
Nicolas Cage stars as a stylized version of Nicolas Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I'm not sure I understand.
Look, Javi.
I am Javi.
Nick Cage. I have to say, there was no muscle in my body that told me I should play a character named Nick Cage in a movie. I had the challenge for me of not embarrassing my family and also facilitating Tom Gormican, the director's vision of so-called Nick Cage, which was a highly neurotic / anxiety-filled Nick Cage.
You can't quit acting, you can't! That's none of your business. Whether you like it or not, you have a gift. And that gift brings light and joy to an increasingly dark and broken world.
The Mandalorian star Pedro Pascal plays an obsessed superfan who hires Cage to attend his birthday.
I think I had the easiest job out of everybody. And ironically, the role of Javi Gutierrez could be closer to me than the role of Nick Cage is to Nicolas Cage in a way.
Are you dying, Dad?
Yes.
Oh my God.
What? Creatively.
Oh, come on.
No, physically he's tremendous.
This is my first movie, and so to be able to set the bar this high, it's going to be a tough act to follow. It was amazing. Nick is like the loveliest. He's so paternal, especially with me, and he was amazing. He was a great source of comfort for me, and also just someone who I really learned a lot from about acting and about movies in general.
You were a faster runner than me. I saw how fast you were in National Treasure. No, that'd be the stunt department, not according to the making of featurette.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
That looks so funny, and now we can't steal that title for your autobiography.
We'll find out what Will Loper thinks of the unbearable weight of massive talent on Monday. And when we come back, we go backstage with our Michael Bruno.
He previews Milton High School's production of the original work, There's No Place. That's when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
In late October of 2021, I got COVID, and I was pretty sure that I was at the end of my rope.
I knew we were in trouble when we decided to bring in our attorney to start having Joel sign end-of-life documents, business documents.
My last try was an experimental medication. She put me on the Aviptadil, and that next morning when I woke up, I was a new man.
Because of Ron Johnson's right to try bill, I have my husband today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The Stanley Steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley Steamer now goes beyond carpet. We've been cleaning tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, air ducts, and a whole lot more. We don't just clean carpets, we clean homes. So when your home needs a cleaning, give us a ring at 1-800-STEAMER.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga.
And with a quick update on our traffic, if you're going to be traveling westbound on the Beltline, that is not the place to be this evening, as it is one of the slower spots along the Beltline as of right now. But eastbound is a bit more on the green. Now, as we take a look over towards the interstate as of right now, still all green as well from north to south. It's going to do it for our traffic update. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you. It's not often that a high school in our area stages an original play.
And it's even more unusual when that play was written by a former student. But that is exactly what's happening this weekend at Milton High School.
Our Michael Bruno goes backstage at Milton High School's production of There's No Place, written by former student Jim Like.
We need to work some things out first.
You still hold that black eye against me? It's not my fault you bruised so easy. That was nothing.
That has got to stop. You can't do that to me anymore.
Oh, come on. Don't be that way.
They told me I could choose my topic, and I thought of homelessness because a very good friend of mine runs the program, the nonprofit, that assists homeless youth.
You're the only guy I've been with. You need to start trusting me.
I just love you so much, baby. I can't help it.
Well, if you want me to come back to you, we need to work some things out.
And so it was kind of on my brain from the stories that she had told me about the young people that she had worked with.
You can't hit me anymore.
I don't hit you.
You know damn well you do.
Little love taps, not hard.
Well, it's got to stop, especially now that I'm pregnant.
We started off with Dylan reading his book On the Road by Kerouac when Wayne comes in attempting to perform a homeless count.
What is your race?
Human. The human race. I used to be a part of the rat race.
He has to use all of his outside sales training in order to get any information out of Dylan. You don't have to be out here or in your car. There are shelters, you know.
What happens to your character in that scene?
He gets angry about it. I may be living under a bridge, but I'm not an idiot because he doesn't really want to be seen as just another idiot on the street. He wants to be seen as his own person, kind of. What's the catch?
Catch?
Yeah. What humiliating ritual do I have to go through to earn shelter for the night?
How do you think the audience is going to respond to this production?
I think they're going to take away that they shouldn't judge people based on first looks, because you can look at a person and think, oh, they're probably living a pretty good life. They have some brand name clothes, but in actuality, they could probably be house hopping. They could be sleeping in an alleyway that night. And I just want them to rethink before they just spill out some words about someone.
Yes, we offer prayer and devotions, but we won't force you into it or turn you away if you don't participate. During the play, I want them to really try to feel for the characters that are struggling. I want them to put themselves in Maddie's shoes. I want them to put themselves in Dylan's shoes. I want them to put themselves in Abby and Keisha's shoes. I just want them to think about it.
Unless you know somebody or a family that has gone through that, I think it's one of those things that you just, and I think the same is true as adults, you don't want to think about, you don't want to acknowledge, and it really wakes you up.
I'll tell you what, if you come tomorrow, I'll be there too. Does that help?
Okay, Wayne Carver. Outside salesman, you've closed the deal. I'll take you up on it. What have I got to lose, right?
What have you got to lose? Homelessness.
That's a powerful piece.
It is a very powerful
Michael's
piece.
here now. It's been performed other places, but first time for a high school setting.
That's correct. Jim wrote it originally for the Janesville Performing Arts Center, and then he kind of refigured it for high school students because he's both a graduate of Milton High School. So he's kind of bringing it all back home to his high school that he graduated from.
It's raising awareness of a very important subject.
It truly is, and these high school students are amazing to tackle those kind of issues, and it's just wonderful to see how they can absorb that into their acting and into their classes.
Very thoughtful, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, There's No Place. That's at Milton High School tonight and tomorrow at 7, Sunday at 2 o'clock. You can only buy tickets online at ticketpicket.com and then search for Milton High School. Or if you can scan this code, but you probably don't have your camera out and ready to go. So
Ticketspicket.com.
And then there'll be a search, and just type in Milton High School.
Okay. All right.
All right, next week.
Next week, it's the importance of being earnest. It's Strollers Theater to Martel. Yes, always.
Enjoy the weather tomorrow.
We certainly will.
Thanks, Michael. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Final check your forecast is coming up.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women or in men with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Double up on savings exclusively at Grand Appliance during the Spring Savings Double Up Sale. Get double rebates on select purchases of our most popular appliance and grill brands and unbeatable package deals. Like this Frigidaire 4-piece kitchen with counter-depth refrigerator for just $23.92. Or this LG 4-piece kitchen for just $29.36. Shop your local showroom or grandappliance.com. Grand Appliance. You make it home, we make it grand.
It's time. Get back to your health and fitness goals by joining Anytime Fitness for just $1. Now through May 2nd. Get a coach, get going, get fit. Join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Now through May 2nd. Hurry in today.
Dane County health officials issue a new push for COVID booster shots. We'll tell you why at 5. Also, see how area high school students got a virtual reality experience of the dangers of texting while driving and drug-impaired driving. That's on News 3 Now at 5.
Need to know what the traffic is like before you hit the road? Get the Channel 3000 app now, and I'll tell you where the trouble spots are and how to get around them.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
And after today, we're going to start to see quite a warm-up heading into our Saturday, and windy conditions are going to be right behind it. But this system, as it continues to track through, heading into our Sunday, will also be bringing in another shot of some cooler temperatures and even some rain heading into this weekend. But Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti will be on standby to give you all the details coming up at 5, so be sure to tune in. Back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Monday here on Live at 4, we'll meet our Pet of the Week from the Dane County Humane Society in person.
That's right. We can't wait. And film critic Will Loper checks out the new movies and shows on screens, big and small. The Loper Report is Monday on Live at 4.
At McGann Furniture in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. And remember, at McGann, we don't raise our prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. It's the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. And trust your heart to Entresto.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Well, spring is definitely in the air, and that means zoo babies and critters doing the darndest things.
Sounds like it's time for this week's edition of the News Hounds.
Here's the News Hounds, Lily and Oliver, with their World News Roundup.
This week on the News Hounds, taking the gator for a stroll.
The kangaroo hop.
And splish splash, elephant style.
But first, the Oregon Zoo's primate family has grown by a few pounds. 20-year-old Bornean orangutan, Keitra, gave birth to a new baby, adding to the world population of this critically endangered species. The first-time mom and her new arrival are doing well in their behind-the-scenes maternity den, and zookeepers are thrilled on what a good mama Keitra is. Orangutan babies are born after a gestation period of around 8.5 months and typically weigh a little over 3 pounds at birth. They are completely dependent on their moms for food and getting around during the first 2 years of life.
Well, here's something you don't want to see during your morning walk. This very large alligator was taking a little stroll through a Florida neighborhood, minding his own business, turning it into a gator hood. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office shared the video of what they estimate to be a 10-foot-long alligator strolling through the Venice, Florida neighborhood. The man recording the video says, "Just walking our pet alligator this morning." The giant gator eventually made its way into a community lake without incident.
Something a little less threatening. Rama, the baby Asian elephant, was splashing around in the water at the Oklahoma City Zoo. He was born January 20th and is already close to 500 pounds and obviously very inquisitive.
Mako, the baby kangaroo, didn't know what to make of his first encounter with Easter eggs at the San Antonio Zoo. The zoo says the hollow dog eggs are part of the enrichment of sensory stimulation. It's working.
And finally, also at the San Antonio Zoo, Timothy the hippo got a special treat for his 7th birthday. How does a hippo eat a whole watermelon? Not very carefully. He crushed the whole thing with his powerful jaws. Zookeepers say watermelon is one of the hippo's favorite snacks. Please pass a napkin.
And that's this week's edition of the News Hounds. Not very graceful with the watermelon. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you back here on Monday. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.